The game between Sixers and Raptors was outstanding, with so many valuable insights about these two teams. In this breakdown I am going into detail of many possessions in order to analyze key aspects. The game did not disappoint from the start and there were a high level of reads and activity on both ends. So let's start. No team runs more off live rebounds than the Raptors by a margin, and this is textbook transition offense, because the ball always runs faster with passing rather than dribbling, so Poeltl completes the rim run. They went early at targeting Maxey with an inverted pick-and-roll between Barnes and Quickley. The other players space deep and the show is not enough to stop his dribble, but the kick-out pass to Ingram in the corner is even better. So the Raptors go back at it immediately. This time Maxey doesn't even puts himself in front and Barnes delivers a laser pass off the dribble before help can come. Then we see a variant. The first handoff starts a weave and Poeltl lifts. There is a chance for a blind pig action, but instead they flow into a pick and roll. Good patience, but the hostage dribble isn't enough effective and Maxey blocks the shot from behind. But watch the treatment that the Raptors set aside for Maxey. They made everything complicated for him, and see the back and forth between offense and defense. The intention by Edgecombe is good, but Barnes makes sure to stay in pre-rotation close to the ball. They force him to take a shot without rhythm and he is put again in action on the other end. That's what you want to see from Barnes. He stays active and aggressive to create his own shot. Both teams often use dribble handoffs to initiate offense. Here the Sixers flow into a Spain pick and roll. Notice how defense don't want to leave Maxey, but the Raptors manage to get the stop, and without you can even notice they are already in the open court. One spacing concept that was very productive for the Raptors was the relocation from wing to corner to a baseline cut, and they were successful in many ways to beat help. Here it is a different set, but it introduces another factor, which is moving Ingram without the ball. The hedge holds for too long and side is empty, so it makes more difficult to recover, and Ingram quickly recognizes it. If the Sixers in the previous possession moved ball and player to get into Spain, now they create the spacing to have a guard-to-guard screening action. McCain has room to attack not once but twice. On the other end, it's the Raptors' movement without the ball that allows Barnes to get in the paint. Notice the two cuts and the potential open passing lane in the corner. Again, see that these relocations generate confusion in the defense on the second drive. Also, the baseline run ends in opposite corner and gives a new kick-out option. Here they end up with another outcome. First, it's a good read by Quickley not to force the pass because McCain was nearby the roll to the rim. So he retreats to attack the favorable matchup, with special effects on the pass. The Raptors implement these cuts anytime there is opportunity. Notice the subtle work by Poeltl to delay the recover, and now the defense is scrambled. Then the corner cut has cleared space to extend the distance, and it generates another long closeout to beat off the dribble. Maxey is showing maturity to anticipate next plays and understands which way is more suitable to be aggressive. Here Drummond doesn't understand it, but that's why the Sixers got Grimes back. All these instances explain why the Raptors are top 3 in half-court offense in November. A double drag with Ingram as first screener, wing clear and baseline cut that creates a 2-on-1 in empty side. Now they go back at Barnes as ball handler with Quickley as screener. Sixers handle it better despite a little window opens in front of Barnes, but here is the recover and the crafty steal from behind. I already pointed it out that a big step from Barnes is in his mindset. He turns the ball over but has zero complaints or frustration. He goes back on defense, stays attached, contains the drive from Maxey and generates a steal that he converts full court. Brandon Ingram is obviously another reason of the success in half-court. You can put him in different spots and he can make the right read if help comes, and the cuts from Barrett are becoming more common. In the second half we start to see more counters and adjustments as teams are more prepared to know what to expect. Sixers try to use blind pig because Maxey is face-guarded. But Raptors are active and deny it. As it already happened before, they don't need dribbles to run and finish in open court. What happens here is interesting because I think is completely random, but it actually decides the outcome of the drive. I mean, look at how Barrett handles that sign with the finger at Edgecombe. Nothing comes easy for the Sixers when Maxey has to fight only to get a catch, but that's a great read from Barnes to immediately jump on the big after he receives help. They kick ahead, and if Barrett had run he probably would have get a pass for an easy dunk. Now watch Maxey. He sees Grimes and demands the ball quickly, but again Drummond doesn't keep up his pace. Even before he crosses half-court, Quickley wants Poeltl to come high on the ball screen, but he is in the wrong side so Maxey can snake and finish downhill. This play doesn't end up in a basket, but it is a set already seen used for Leonard or Banchero, and keep in mind that this season, only Markkanen and Curry finish more possessions off screen than Ingram. This is a very solid option. Now the Sixers start to rely more on Maxey to come off screen with option of him to be the screener first. Good job also to have a previous action that brings Poeltl away from the rim. If Ingram is one of the 3 players with most possessions ended off screen, then Maxey has the second highest point per possession among players with at least 10 at 1.54. This is a great sequence to change the angle and force the defender to chase, or he could cut back door to the rim. He ends up against a switch, but a drive is risky and he is forced to retreat. These are the type of shots that he had to convert against this Raptors defense. We got to the point where the Raptors are blitzing Maxey after he crosses half court, so he has to get rid of the ball. Who's faster, defense to recover or offense to beat rotations? Barnes initiated the double team, blocks the shot, opens the break. I would say that this pass from Dick tells a lot of the confidence for the Raptors, and Mamou's drives are another positive component. Lineups with him at the 5 are very efficient for the Raptors. Here he sets a flat screen and watch his eyes on the drive. First he follows the corner cut and sees that defense has it, so he moves and finds the relocating teammate. Raptors' defensive system is collaborative, a missed rotation has someone behind to contain. But great move by Edgecombe, who adjusts the pickup point of the ball to get past help. Great set by the Sixers to open the fourth using Maxey and Edgecombe in sequence and reacting to the strong pressure from the Raptors defense, which help was there anyway. They make it better with a pin down and screen the screener action, but Shed is locked up on Maxey. Again the back line of the Raptors is focused and make everything tough, but this is another good recognition by Edgecombe to stampede right off the catch. What allowed the Sixers to cut the lead was a more purposeful management of advantages generated by Maxey. Once the exit pass comes, the decision has to be quick, take what the defense is giving up and capitalize. On defense instead, they increase the level of pressure on Raptors ball handlers, hedging hard and try to take away any room to get rid of the ball. These plays gave them some momentum. Here the ball gets out of the two-man game, but Barnes rushes a bit too much. He could have stopped and be more alert, but Drummond has wingspan to disrupt passing lanes that seem open. On the break Raptors have numbers, so they are successful in transition, but that initial mismatch with Poeltl on Grimes stays. Again backline help is on point, but this time it comes a better finish. Grimes delivered for the Sixers in the fourth quarter. Here they use Spain pick and roll as a counter against pressure on Maxey. See how much Ingram is loud at communicate, but this time they are not well in sync on the matchups. Later the Raptors force one more time Maxey to get back and attack from standstill. But this doesn't alter him. He has a chance to turn patience into wait for the right moment to pass the ball to Grimes on other side. Do you remember when the hedge on ball screen caused turnover for the Raptors? This is a great answer. Not only they have Barnes closer to connect, but they also have a wide pin down for Ingram to remove help from low man. Then another instance where Raptors come prepared. Ingram in low post and double comes. Sixers contain one pass away, but now there is the cut from Barrett and also the relocation from Quickly. I literally love that Barnes never guarded Maxey until the key moments of the game, and he didn't care about anything else but taking him away from the game. It is essentially a 4 versus 4 and they stay in front pretty easily. And the best part is that Barnes brings that matchup on the other end. Maybe the result of the previous double affected the decision to stay home now. Literally every player on the Raptors is contributing lately. Here think about the impact of Poeltl screening, passing and paint finishing, or Quickly, who is shooting 44.2% from 3 in November. This game has shown that their identity is building on both their defense and offense, and this is very encouraging for them moving forward.